Hello and welcome to SatTV Week, the news programme for the international satellite industry. This week, Helen Jameson talks to Henrik Noralecki, Vice President of the Land Mobile Business Unit at Tran & Tran. James Shortland reports on a NASA research satellite, which is expected to re-enter Earth's atmosphere later this month. We have a Galileo update, and Trisha Jones has the launch news. But first, here's Richard with the news headlines.
Quality assurance of DVB satellite transmissions is to be advanced by Eutelsat in time for the 2012 Olympics, which are anticipated to be the planet's most watched sporting event. The breakthrough, which was announced at IBC 2011, is part of a global industry-supported initiative that aims to safeguard satellite signal services. The effort is supported by the global broadcast community, the satellite industry, and through 3 international associations. Through this new initiative, carrier identification will be integrated into transmission parameters for all SNG transmissions and new DVB broadcasts from the 30th of June 2012. This will enable Eutelsat to more efficiently identify transmissions to its satellites and accelerate coordination with Earth station operators. Simple firmware enhancements to existing operational uplink equipment have already been developed by key manufacturers. Speaking at the annual World Satellite Business Week conference in Paris, Arianespace's chairman and CEO Jean-Yves Le Gall said the company retains a clear leadership position in the global launch services industry, while its competitors have experienced what Le Gall called a murderous summer due to the series of major mission failures. He said that Arianespace maintains its sustained launch rate and is further building the order book, with key new contracts building on Ariane 5's continued heavy lift success from French Guiana, which is to be joined soon at the spaceport by the medium lift Soyuz and lightweight Vega. He told international journalists that launch equality is not a vain phrase, and while Arianespace's 45 consecutive successes with Ariane 5 may seem to have become routine, such a routine is not so easy. It is backed by a deep commitment to reliability that is fully supported by the programme's key partners. He said the key to Ariane 5's reliability was the decision taken 8 years ago to fly the same standardised launcher configuration, mission after mission. This is based on the principle of what has flown successfully will continue to fly with success, Le Gall explained. Adding this strategy is particularly pertinent today when viewed from a perspective of multiple unsuccessful launches recently experienced by other launch systems.
An extensive free upgrade for Tran & Tran's flagship vehicular BGAN Terminal Explorer 727 has just been released, and last week Helen Jameson spoke to Henrik Noralecki, Vice President of the Land Mobile Business Unit at the company, and asked him about the terminal and the benefits it brings to broadcasters.
The Explorer 727 has been deployed with a variety of broadcasters over the past years. 727 being the vehicular version of the well-known BGAN products, the high-end product, so to speak, in that area that has been able to provide up to around about 250 kilobits per second channel through from the event side back to the broadcasting house.
And this week you're actually announcing an upgrade to the terminal. What difference will the upgrade make, and how easy is this going to be for your customers to access?
Let's start in the first end. What does it bring for difference to the existing platform? Essentially, what we have brought by the BGAN Extreme upgrade is that we are providing an on-the-pause functionality to the vehicular terminal. That means when a video journalist is arriving at a scene and parking his vehicle, he would already be on air, and on air with a transmission channel of up to 470 kilobits per second. That means we are upping the transmission bandwidth, almost doubling the transmission bandwidth when he is on the pause. The well-known BGAN Extreme functionality has been known from the Explorer 700 type terminal, and is now found also on the 727. So basically giving the broadcasters 2 terminals in one, both one that can move and one that can do the same at a standstill as a normal portable terminal.
And how easy will this be for the customer to access? How will they go about accessing the upgrade?
The way of accessing the upgrade is, as we are offering this as a free upgrade to all existing users, as well as a standard functionality on all new purchase terminals. He would simply be able to go on our website or contact his local dealer, and he would be able to download the upgrade and load that software upgrade straight onto the terminal from any PC he might have available.
Henrik, thank you very much indeed.
NASA's Upper Atmosphere Research Satellite is expected to re-enter Earth's atmosphere in late September or early October, almost 6 years after the end of a productive scientific life. Although the spacecraft will break into pieces during re-entry, not all of it will burn up in the atmosphere. James has the story.
Although the risk to public safety or property is extremely small, there has in fact never been a confirmed report of an injury resulting from re-entering space objects. Nor is there a record of significant property damage resulting from a satellite re-entry. However, it is too early to say exactly when the satellite will re-enter and what geographical area may be affected, but NASA will post updates weekly until 4 days before the anticipated re-entry, then daily until about 24 hours before re-entry, and then at about 12 hours, 6 hours and 2 hours before re-entry. The updates will come from the Joint Space Operations Center of US Strategic Command at Vandenberg Air Force Base in California, which works around the clock detecting, identifying and tracking all man-made objects in Earth orbit, including space junk. The actual date of re-entry is difficult to predict because it depends on solar flux and the spacecraft's orientation as its orbit decays. As re-entry draws closer, predictions on the date will become more reliable. As of September 8, the orbit of UARS was 245 kilometers by 275 kilometers with an inclination of 57 degrees. Because the satellite's orbit is inclined 57 degrees to the equator, any surviving components of UARS will land within a zone between 57 degrees north latitude and 57 degrees south latitude. It is impossible to pinpoint just where in that zone the debris will land, but NASA estimates the debris footprint will be about 500 miles long, an area that covers 6 continents and billions of people.
At the recent IBC show in Amsterdam, Intelsat's SVP of Global Sales, Kurt Riegelman, and TIBA CEO Norberto Alvarez agreed on a contract extension on Intelsat 27 at 304.5 degrees east. The multi-year, multi-transponder agreement will allow TIBA, the Buenos Aires-based video carrier and content management provider, to supply standard and high-definition video content to Tier 1 broadcasters in the Americas and Western Europe for the 15-year life of the satellite. Now here's Tricia with this week's launch news.
Arianespace will launch 2 satellites for DirecTV and has the option of launching another 2 satellites for one of the world's leading providers of television entertainment services. All 4 satellites will weigh in at over 6 metric tons and will be a part of a fleet expansion and replenishment programme. The new satellites will strengthen DirecTV's DTH digital entertainment services across the United States and, if the options are exercised, Latin America by increasing high-definition channel capacity, adding more 3D channels and greatly expanding the DirecTV cinema movies experience. The satellites will be launched on Ariane 5 in 2014. DirecTV 14 is currently being built by Space Systems Loral based on its 1300 platform. Sea Launch will launch the Intelsat 19 communications satellite in early 2012, the first of up to 5 missions on the Sea Launch system for Intelsat LLC under a previously announced multiple launch services contract. Built by Space Systems Loral, the 1300 series Intelsat 19 satellite will be located at 166 degrees east longitude as part of Intelsat's ongoing fleet investment programme. It replaces Intelsat 8, a leading video neighbourhood, providing distribution to cable head-ends across the Asia-Pacific region and reaching more than 37 million pay TV subscribers around the Pacific Rim. Nell Carlson, president of Sea Launch, said that the launch of Intelsat 19 will represent the next strategic advance for the company following the successful return to launch operations on both the sea launch and land launch systems.
The first Galileo navigation satellite has arrived in Europe's spaceport in French Guiana, ready to begin preparations for launch on the 20th of October. Packed within its protective air-conditioned container, the satellite landed at Cayenne-Rochambeau Airport aboard an Antonov aircraft from Thales Alenia Space's Rome facility, where it was built. Gabrielle Brogan reports.
This is the first of 4 Galileo satellites, built by a consortium led by EADS Astrium Germany, which will form the operational nucleus of the full Galileo SatNav constellation. The satellite is due to be launched aboard a Soyuz STB vehicle, together with a second Galileo that is now being readied for its own flight to French Guiana. This will be the first launch of Russia's workhorse Soyuz rocket from French Guiana. It will take place from a new facility 30 kilometers northwest of the Ariane 5 launch site. The site is much closer to the equator than Baikonur or Plesetsk, where the Soyuz has always launched from, so each launch will benefit from Earth's spin, increasing the maximum payload into geostationary transfer orbit from 1.7 tons to 3 tons. Next year, the second pair of satellites will join them in orbits at 23,222 kilometers altitude, proving the design of the Galileo system in advance of the other 26 satellites destined to join them. The 2 Soyuz STB launchers, the more powerful variant of the 2 configurations of the upgraded Soyuz ST launcher, operated by Arianespace from the CSG, plus the reignitable Frigar MT upper stages that will guide the satellites into their final orbits, reached French Guiana from Russia in June. Final assembly of the 3-stage Soyuz STB and the fueling of the Frigar MT upper stage will start next week, well in time for the launch date.
Hughes Network Systems has been awarded an extension contract by the US Department of Defense for its current study of commercial comms satellite systems capabilities. The extension calls for analysing enterprise trade-offs between modems and teleports, satellite comms payloads, terminal constraints, performance and operations and mission planning, with the results being delivered in early 2012. Rick Lober, VP of Hughes Defence and Intelligence Systems Division, said that his team has made great strides examining requirements and testing processing architectures, such as those found on Hughes Spaceway 3 and Jupiter satellites. And now here's Richard with more of today's news.
Globecom Systems has been selected to provide a GSM Edge hosted switching upgrade for the Northeastern Pennsylvania Telephone Company's wireless network, providing a path for future migration to 3G and 4G services. Globecom's cost-effective prepaid billing solution offers end customers like NEP more flexible payment options and greater control over their wireless spending. Panasonic Avionics Corporation has finalised an agreement with Scandinavian Airlines to install its X-Connect and X-Phone solution on SAS's fleet of domestic, pan-European and intercontinental aircraft. SAS is planning on introducing the service to its passengers at the end of this year. Panasonic's X-Connect system provides two-way broadband connectivity to an aircraft. It supports a wide range of passenger and crew applications, and SAS will use the solution to provide in-flight broadband internet access over Wi-Fi to passengers. The company's X-Phone product, offered in collaboration with Aeromobile's in-flight mobile phone service, will allow SAS passengers to use their mobile phones, smartphones and BlackBerry devices on board to make and receive voice calls if selected by the airline, send and receive SMS text messages and use GPRS services such as email and internet access. Trace is strengthening its relationship with Eutelsat Communications via a 5-year contract for capacity and uplinking services on the Eurobird 9A satellite. The new deal gives Trace an exceptional footprint to broadcast across Europe and the Middle East its 3 high-definition thematic networks, Trace Urban HD, Trace Tropical HD, and the recently launched Trace Sports HD. As part of the agreement with Eutelsat, its SkyLogic affiliate is uplinking the 3 channels from its teleport in Turin, Italy.
And finally, NASA is offering space shuttle heat shield tiles and dehydrated astronaut food to eligible schools and universities. The initiative is part of the agency's efforts to preserve the space shuttle program's history and technology and inspire the next generation of space explorers, scientists and engineers. The lightweight tiles protected the shuttles from extreme temperatures when the orbiters re-entered the Earth's atmosphere. The food, which was pre-cooked and processed so that refrigeration is unnecessary, is ready to eat or could be prepared simply by adding water or by heating. That's all for this week. Thank you for watching.